In Yakutia, sound freezes. The air doesn't vibrate, it shatters. At minus 71 degrees Celsius. Breathing is an act of courage. There is no room for mistakes, because even a hurried exhalation can crystallize into frost on your eyelashes and blind you in the middle of the tundra. You think surviving a hunting expedition in these lands is about shooting or running. It isn't. It begins much earlier. The moment you decide to leave the village and cross the frozen threshold into the unknown. Your day starts before dawn, though dawn is nothing more than a pale reflection on a steel gray sky. You wake on a reindeer hide hardened by frost, inside a wooden hut that creaks with every gust. The wood stove dies out while you sleep, and the cold bites your feet before your dreams are over. You dress in silence, layer upon layer. Linen, wool, hide, leather. Every garment is a promise not to die frozen. The steam of your breath mixes with the smoke of the dying fire as you check your rusted rifle and your frozen traps, hoping today's hunt will be kinder than yesterday's. In Yakutia, every step is a pact with the earth. The ground isn't soil, but crystal hardened by centuries of ice. Footprints crunch, and each crunch becomes an echo that travels for miles. You know the bears hear it. Bears always hear. They live on the border of what is real, between hunger and winter. No one in your village ignores their legends. The elders say the 5-ton polar bear, Kara, the white god of the north, does not walk. It floats. That its eyes don't reflect, they absorb. That it doesn't hunt out of need, but for balance. And today, that balance could decide your fate. Your backpack weighs more than your body. Inside, dried meat, elk fat, a bone knife, a flint lighter, and a rope braided from horsehair. No luxuries, only tools of survival. Your Mosin Nagant rifle, a war relic, hangs from your shoulder like an extension of your will. The metal of the trigger sticks to your gloves if you touch it carelessly. Ice turns every weapon into a silent betrayal. At that temperature, steel does not forgive. The wind cuts, eyelashes turn into needles, shadows into enemies. You walk among trees petrified by the cold, hearing only your own breath and the faint squeak of snow under your boots. Every step feels like a conversation with death. You look to the horizon and see nothing. Nothing but white. White above, white below. An endless solid ocean. Then you notice it. Absolute silence. No wind, no crows, no cracking branches, only emptiness. That silence isn't normal. That silence means something is watching you. The first instinct is denial. The second, prayer. The third, to ready your weapon. But the old methods never fail. You take a handful of salt mixed with fat and scatter it in a circle around you, marking the ground as the hunters of old once did. The sour smell of the mixture confuses the bear's nose, for a few minutes at least. Meanwhile, you build a small fire trap. Dry twigs, birch bark, and a spark of flint. The flame rises, weak and trembling, but alive. In the north, fire isn't warmth, it's authority. It marks territory like a beast. Then you see it, a white shadow moving through the white. It doesn't walk, it floats, just as the elders said. Each step lifts a faint mist of snow, as if the tundra itself were breathing with it. It's a monster carved from ice, larger than any creature you've ever seen. Muscles shift beneath its thick fur like slabs of stone beneath a glacier. Its eyes, black and gleaming, pierce through you. There is no hatred in them, only judgment. You try to remember the stories. Never run, never shoot first, never turn your back. Facing it is to acknowledge its dominion. You step back slowly, head bowed. You extend your hand and strike the small drum hanging from your belt. The tungur, used in rituals of respect. The deep sound vibrates in the frozen air, and for a moment the bear stops. It watches you. Its breath forms thick clouds, each the size of a horse. Time freezes. In that instant, your life hangs by a thread of ice. You know the hunt no longer matters. That the journey was not to bring meat, but to bring a story. And if you survive, the children of the village will sing your name alongside the spirits of the forest. But first, you must stay alive. The bear roars. It's not a roar. It's thunder in the throat of the world. It strikes your chest like a wave. The echo bounces across the frozen plains, awakening the sleeping spirits in the cracks of the ice. Your legs tremble, not from fear, but because the earth itself vibrates. At this distance, the word animal loses all meaning. Before you stands an ancient god, a living relic of a time when men were nothing but trembling shadows beside the fire. The Urgankara lowers its head, sniffs the air, and advances. One step, another. Each footprint leaves a crater in the snow. Your breath quickens. There is no refuge, no trees, no escape. To run would be to invite death. Your mind recalls the teachings of the elder hunters. When the bear lowers its snout, it offers respect. When it raises its head, it demands war, and now the head is raised. You grip your rifle, not to kill, but to survive. In Yakutia, the line between the two is as thin as a crack in the ice. With numb hands, you load the handmade ammunition, a bullet wrapped in seal fat, designed not to shatter in the cold. You aim at the ground, not at him. You fire. The blast thunders, fire bursts from the weapon's mouth, and the echo tears the silence like a whip. The bear stops. It gazes at the column of smoke, growls, and strikes the ground with a claw the size of your forearm. It's a warning. You know what comes next. You have seconds. You drop your backpack, pull out an improvised torch, a branch wrapped in cloth soaked in reindeer fat, and light it with the spark from your flint. The fire crackles, orange and fragile, but it's enough. You wave the flame before you, drawing circles in the air. Bears do not fear man, but they respect fire. It is the one thing they cannot master. The white giant steps back, growling with restrained fury. But it does not leave. It circles you slowly, studying your movements. You turn with it, torch extended, keeping your distance. Each turn is a heartbeat of life. Each breath, a challenge. You feel the fire's heat burn your fingers, but you cannot let go. If the flame dies, so do you. Suddenly, a gust of wind tears the torch from your hand. The snow swallows it. Darkness, silence. Only you and him. Your heart pounds so hard its sound blends with the crunch of the snow. You don't think. You act. You strike your drum again. Tum. The echo vibrates. Tum. The bear stops as if hypnotized. Tum. You close your eyes and speak the ancient words you learned from the elders. Kara Urus, Kara Sulis, Kara Chora. White spirit, grant passage to the traveler. The air thickens. A ritual silence. The bear sniffs the ground, exhales a cloud of steam, and turns its body north. It walks a few meters, looks back one last time, and vanishes into the frozen mist. The drum slips from your hands. The echo fades, and only the sound of your ragged breathing remains. You collapse onto the snow, trembling, not from cold, but from relief. On the horizon, the northern lights begin to dance, painting the sky in green and purple. In Yakutia, that means forgiveness. The gods have accepted your offering. Hours later, you return to the village. Smoke rises slowly from chimneys. Lights flicker between huts. The dogs bark when they see you, crusted with frost. Eyes wide like a man returned from the other side. The elders come to meet you. You carry no prey, no hide, no trophy. You carry only the story. They gather around. They listen in silence as you recount what happened. No one laughs. No one doubts. In Yakutia, the tales of survivors are more valuable than gold, for they bring wisdom, not wealth. That night, in the village center, they light the great ceremonial fire. The drums beat. The women throw fat into the flames. The children sing. The elders play flutes carved from reindeer bone. They dance around the fire while you, hands still frozen, hold a cup of hot broth. The shaman names you Nuyura, the one who looked upon the white god and did not blink. You are no hero. You are a witness. And as the flames dance, you know that Bear was not an enemy, but a mirror. A force that showed you what it means to be alive when everything conspires for you to die. In Yakutia, one does not survive the cold or the hunger. One survives the silence. And you, for one more night, have learned to listen.